Hey, Rick.
Hey, Megan.
Happy not Tuesday.
That's Thursday, isn't it?
Yep. And it's
Crazy.
like dinner time. It's dinner time right now. And we didn't get to meet last week because you had a little summer
Oh
head
my
cold. Yeah.
gosh. I have not been sick, and I tell you, at least 4 years. And tell you, when I get up, go to work and take a shower, get ready for work and go back to bed, I'm really sick.
I know.
Nuts.
I don't think
I
I've
never
ever
do
seen
that.
you that sick. Yeah.
No.
Well,
So anyway,
because you've
yeah,
been going pretty hard for a long time. So you got to
seems like
listen
it.
to your body. Yeah. Okay. So
Eventually.
I wanted to talk about what's going to go on here for the rest of the year, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And my opinion comes from, the what I see on the street and what I read and who I talk
Yeah.
to and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was listening. What inspired me to really talk about this was I was listening to Lawrence Yun. Do you know who he is?
No.
He's like the chief, like, I think he's the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors. He's super sharp, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just, everything's always clear when it's in the background, right? And then
Right.
going forward is always the question.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's kind of saying something that I'm seeing right now. So that's kind of what I wanted to share.
Okay, cool.
So, since 2018, we've had an epic housing shortage. Epic,
Mm-hmm.
beyond, you can't even believe it. And then
Yeah, for
COVID
sure.
came along, and people were unsure and scared and didn't want people in their houses, some people.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
again, we had this housing shortage sort of magnified, right?
Right.
And we're still having the housing shortage, but I don't want people, a lot of these buyers, they've been just like just waiting and waiting, and how are they going to get into a house and the whole thing. But I think that we're going to see, I think that spring really peaked pretty early in the year, like way earlier than normal. I feel like February
Mm-hmm.
was like, you know, and buyers were out there buying everything up and that sort of thing. And we still didn't see that many listings, but now that things are opening up, what
Mm-hmm.
people have to understand is that typically, normally, not in a COVID year, right around Father's Day, graduation time, end of June, things choke out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Buyers and sellers go on vacation and they've got their kids out of school and they're doing the whole thing. So the busiest peak time of year is spring, and it still was
Yes.
true this year, even in
Mm-hmm.
2021. But what I'm seeing now too is I'm seeing more houses come on the market. Now, this is
Good.
not going to correct the housing shortage by any
Right.
stretch of the imagination, but it's gonna loosen up a little bit. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that's going to
Hopefully.
mean that prices are going to go down or anything. I'm just
No.
saying that you might not have 40 offers to contend with. You might have,
Only
5 or
20.
10.
Hopefully
Yeah,
5 or
yeah,
10. Like we can handle
yeah,
5 or 10.
exactly.
That's
Right,
manageable.
right, exactly. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. What are you guys seeing at your applications and stuff?
Well, it's interesting because I follow all those stats. Housing sales, by the way, the pace of housing sales in the month of May was up 8%, and
Mm,
year over year up 13%.
I know.
That's housing sales, not appreciation, but actual rate of housing sales.
Right,
So
right,
clearly the housing market's really, really robust. As a mortgage industry, applications are off a little bit. Mostly that is refinances, right? We can understand that. A little bit on purchase as well, but I think what's driving that purchase volume is the lack of inventory. As simple
right.
as that.
I know people are, they're kind of afraid to get into the market. They're like, geez, all I've been hearing about is how,
Mhm.
excuse me, how many offers and how much I have to
Right,
pay over and all this kind
right,
of stuff. And again, I don't see any prices softening, but I do see an
right.
opportunity to maybe, be seen and try to
Mhm.
get in on something.
Yeah, hopefully we get more of a balance in the market, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
where we don't have to
yeah,
compete with 30 offers. That's just
right.
not reasonable. That's not
Yeah,
normal.
but no, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And typically then by the end of the year, we see people pull their houses off of the market for the
Hmm.
holidays and that sort of
Right.
thing. So I think this is a really good time between now and Thanksgiving, if you're a
Hmm.
buyer, to just stay the course and be optimistic because the rates are
Correct.
still low and there'll
Hmm.
be just a few more houses to choose from. But then you have to kind of watch different cities because their school starts in August. So
Right.
summer tends to peak a little bit soon still too. But I'm seeing
Hmm.
just a tiny bit more listings.
That's good.
And
That's really good.
yeah. So I'm hoping that translates into more of our buyers being able to secure a property.
That'd be nice for
I
sure.
know
But
some of these poor
yeah.
buyers, like, VA buyers, that sort of thing, are
Oh,
working
feel
on
bad for
eight
those
months of,
people.
yeah,
Yeah.
8 months of shopping. So
Yeah. No doubt.
anyway, anything else you want to add to this week?
No, I think that's all good commentary. I think Megan, that's spot on. I think that's what I'm seeing as well. And with respect to interest rates, I think rates will stay pretty good too. We're not going to. I don't think we'll see a long-term spike in rates. We will see short-term spikes based on what's going on in the economy, jobs reports, inflation numbers, things like that. But we're coming out of a period of this pandemic where we're starting to see higher inflation numbers right now. But
Mm-hmm.
that's purely a function of people coming out. They're out spending, they're traveling, they're flying, they're vacationing, they're they're driving more, they're doing more. So that's in of itself is going to create more inflation. But that's not going to last because as that settles down and people start to get back to the normal routine, they're not going to be out buying as much or doing as much. So I think
Right.
inflation will settle here. But I think we'll stay in a pretty good rate environment through really, I think most of next year. Yeah,
I love that. That's wonderful. Well, good. Well, I hope you're right. I hope I'm right. And I hope everybody gets a house.
that's the plan always, for
All
sure.
right. Well, thanks. I'm glad you're feeling better. And I
Thank
will
you,
talk
Megan. Appreciate it.
to you very soon.
Awesome. See ya. Bye.
Bye.